Hey Alberto, how's it going? Yeah, quite a few things on this check-in. Um, I think just to start off with it, um, the yeah. So for the pec deck, I've been having to do those at the end of my workouts. That's because there's this person who spends 70 minutes on the pec deck machine. And there's really nothing I can do about it. So, yeah, but honestly, it might be a blessing in disguise because, hear me out. So, what I'm thinking is on that pec deck, I'm basically using the entire stack. So, the fact that I'm now doing it at the end of the workout means that I'm a little bit fatigued before doing the pec deck. So, now I'm wondering whether I should just do that by default and like save the two pec deck for the end, just because I'm able to um, yeah, I don't have to do like a bunch of reps there. Um, the next thing is so for my seated leg curl, um, basically there's like a pin, and the pin is how I lock the leg curl in, and unfortunately that pin gets loose as I'm doing the reps until sometimes the pin comes out and my leg flies up. And I guess I'm wondering, how do I avoid that? I don't know if you have a solution to that, but it's just annoying. I have to just be very careful with like the that leg curl because like the pin that sets the pad on my leg so that I can do the movement is, yeah, it gets loose. But there's that. Another question is, so I know you said to go heavier on the lunges, and how I've typically been doing my lunge, if you saw the one that I sent last week with the 55-pound dumbbells, is that my trailing knee touches the turf. Whereas I saw that when you're doing yours, um, your knee doesn't go all the way down. So I think it's slightly less range of motion. And I guess what should I be aiming for? Should I aim for that knee to be hitting the floor when I'm doing the lunge, or do it kind of like you, where sometimes it hovers, like looks like it was like 6 to 12 inches above the ground, while you're making your like step, right? It's not like, for example, like when I'm doing it, it's like this. It's like this, right? And I think how you're doing it, it's kind of like this, and then you go, yeah. So I don't know if that made sense. Okay, so my dumbbell lat raise looked way better than it felt. It felt horrible, just because it felt really heavy. But then when I looked at it, I'm like, actually, I think that form is pretty good for the weight. Um, yeah, so it's that. Uh, my medial head tricep extension, I realize that when I'm doing that with the cable, there's quite a bit of shoulder movement. Is that all right? Um, and then I was also doing some comparisons on my stiff-legged deadlift, and it actually doesn't look much different from my regular RDL, despite the fact that I'm using like 60 pounds, 70 pounds less, making me wonder, I guess I am doing it right. I mean, it looks more controlled. I think the main difference in how it looks is that it looks more controlled, but my knee position looks the exact same between the two. So then I'm like, am I really keeping my legs straight or not, stiff or not? I don't know. Okay. And then I guess just two last things. The next thing is, so I've been getting some patella issues. I think it's the patella. I'm not good with anatomy, but basically just at the top of the knee. So this right here, right? So, and that is basically, I think it's theater knee, which is, if I just sit for long periods of time with my knee bent, it's like extremely uncomfortable. And I think what's aggravating it is the leg extension. And I think I've mentioned this before, right, where I've been having a little bit of tendonitis around there, and it's in both knees. And yeah, I don't know if I was like overzealous with the leg extension. The fact that I'm doing like 245 pounds on that machine, I'm kind of wondering what the solution is. I'm starting to do I guess I was just looking up some remedies for it, like quad stretches. I've been doing monster walks, side steps, whatever that is. and then maybe some like light Spanish squats. But I'm curious what your thoughts are on that because, yeah, it is pretty uncomfortable actually, and it bleeds into the other movements, which is the quad dominant leg press, as well as the lunge. Now it's not something where I'm like, yeah, I tore my quad or anything, right? And yeah, it's more just I don't know if it's like I'm going too heavy too soon. Started or maybe been pushing the leg extension for too many months straight, and it's causing some knee discomfort. Yeah, so curious to your thoughts on that. I guess that's the most important piece of this. And then the last thing is you were talking about the like a 6 week stretch that I can have free for the competition, and I guess let me know what your thoughts are on this. I'm thinking August 2027, so all of August 2027, and then the first 2 weeks of September through like the 11th of September or 12th, whenever that week ends. So yeah, so that should be ends the 12th. So yeah, I guess that would be 12. That's 6 weeks. So curious to your thoughts on that, whether that's a reasonable timeline. Yeah, just because August and early September are probably the parts of the year where I have the least amount of like work and commitments. So yeah.